You know, we're all hearing about AI constantly, right? But the real story, the big one, isn't what's grabbing the headlines. There's this huge shift happening underneath it all, in the actual infrastructure that makes AI tick. And honestly, it's changing everything in ways most people just don't see.
So, when I say AI, what pops into your head? For most of us, it's probably something like a chatbot, or maybe one of those cool image generators. And yeah, that's fair. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. What we're all seeing and playing with on the surface, that's seriously just a tiny, tiny piece of a much, much bigger puzzle.
And here's the thing that's so important to get. Way behind the scenes, far away from all those flashy consumer apps, something truly fundamental is changing. We're talking about AI being woven directly into the core systems that, make our world go round. The logic, the pure power, the very foundation of how industries work. Okay, so let's dive into the first piece of this revolution. Let's call it the brains. And this isn't just about speed, not at all. It's about making AI genuinely smarter. We're actually giving it the power to reason and solve problems in a way that starts to look a lot like how we humans think through things. This idea leads us to something called multi-step reasoning. Think about it like this. The older AI, you could ask it a simple, direct question and it would give you an answer. But this new generation, whoa, it can take on a really complex problem, break it down into smaller, logical steps, and kind of think its way through to the solution. It's a whole different ballgame.
Okay, to really get a feel for what this means, let's use an example. Imagine I hand you thousands of pages of super dense, technical documents, and your job is to find one single sentence in all of that. For a person, that's a nightmare, right? It's practically impossible. But for this new AI brain, that's literally what it's designed to do.
What we're talking about here is precision on a totally massive scale, being able to sift through a mountain of data and pull out that one single crucial piece of information with pinpoint accuracy. I mean, that is a complete game changer, especially for any industry that's drowning in complex information.
All right, so this sounds kind of abstract, right? So how does it actually work in the real world? Let's take a hospital. Their computer systems are insanely complex. They've been there for years. You can't just go in and tear it all out. But what if you could give that hospital a major intelligence upgrade without touching its core systems? Well, that's exactly what this new way of thinking makes possible.
And the way it works is it's elegant. The AI basically just plugs into the systems the hospital already has. Then it starts analyzing all this patient data in real time as it's coming in, and it serves up these critical insights to the doctors and nurses instantly. See? It's not about disrupting anything. It's about adding this incredibly powerful new layer on top. But of course, a brain that smart needs a whole lot of power to run. And that brings us to the second half of the story, the brawn. We're talking about building a completely new kind of physical infrastructure to support these AIs. But, and this is key, it has to be done responsibly. And this is where things get tricky. You've got this tension, right? On one side, these new AI models they're power hungry. They need so much juice to run. But on the other side, we have this massive responsibility to think about energy use and our environmental footprint. So the big question is, how do you get all that power, but do it responsibly? Well, the answer is all in the technology. We're seeing these amazing breakthroughs, like specialized computer chips that are built just for AI tasks, so they do the math using way less energy. You pair that with some really advanced cooling systems to cut down on waste heat, and you deliver it all through this brand new tier of super high-performance, sustainable cloud services.
So, okay, now we have our two main ingredients, right? We have the super advanced brains that can do all this complex thinking, and we have the sustainable brawn to power it. When you put those two things together, you don't just get a slightly better tool, you get something completely new.
Yeah, this combo of smarts and sustainable power is creating a totally new kind of AI. It's not just a clever app anymore. It's becoming a truly reliable partner that's integrated right into the heart of business and industry. There's a quote that really just nails it. The idea is to stop thinking of AI as some complicated add-on that you have to bolt onto your systems. The future is an AI that's just woven right into the fabric of how a company works, doing its job intuitively and reliably, from the inside out. So, there you have it. That's the real revolution happening under the surface. It's this deep, fundamental shift in both the intelligence and the physical foundation of AI. And it leaves us with a really exciting question to chew on. Now that AI has the brains to think and the brawn to run without breaking the planet, where do we integrate this new partner next?